Good evening, everyone. This is Robert RJL 518, welcoming you to another edition of Marvel Champions. Marvel Champions. Well, so far I've been trying to take the starter deck for Spider Man, and I'll be honest with you, I'm surprised I'm still playing him. This is another edition of Marvel Champions, and tonight it is Spider Man versus the Wrecking Crew. This is the one of the weird scenarios done by Fantasy Flight games where one hero takes on four villains at once. Uh, Wrecking Crew is a little different than taking on regular villains such as Rhino and Ultron, the Green Goblin, and such. Pretty much here against the Wrecking Crew, you face four villains at once. They all have their own separate hit points, and they all have their separate side schemes. The main scheme is called Breakout. And with that scheme, what you do is the only thing that goes on that scheme is one threat per turn. When the Wrecking Crew does they scheme to their own side schemes. They do not scheme to Breakout. Also, in the Wrecking Crew, the standard encounter sets, the standard cards for encounter set, and the nemesis and the obligations are removed. So don't have to worry about a nemesis, don't have to worry about standard cards, um don't have to worry about obligation. Now, a lot of people that some people from Marvel Champions players do not like the Wrecking Crew. I don't know what they're talking about. I did a practice game last night, and I just could not get the card to finish off one more guy. So sometimes with the Wrecking Crew, you got to be a little bit patient with them. So the Wrecking Crew includes Wrecker, Thunderball, Bulldozer, and Pile Driver. And the Wrecker has his own side scheme: Day of Reckoning, Thunderball, Thunderstruck, Bulldozer, Clear the Road, and Pile Driver, Pile It On. Some people say this scenario is way too easy. Some people say that the expert version of this scenario is too easy. Well, we're going to play standard here because I want to show you how the Wrecking Crew works. And of course, there's always ways to make it harder. I still say, if you want, you could add some of the standard, if you want, you could add some of the standard cards, some of the standard, encounter cards into each deck. Maybe two in this, two in that, two in that, two in that. If you want, you could probably do that. You can probably add the expert cards in there too. I think you can make this for people that say this is too easy. You know what? Make it harder then. Some people play A, and then you got to beat the B one too. So there's many ways to play the Wrecking Crew. I think it's one of the more versatile scenarios there is from FFG. And it's, so you got four villains to deal with, and we only got one. So how are we going to deal with four villains? Well, Peter Parker, we are doing the starter deck again, which is just this aspect, and we're going to see how we do. So let's go up against the Wrecking Crew as they are trying to break out of Rikers. And the scenario is called Breakout. Put the Day of Reckoning, Thunderstruck, Pile It On, and Clear the Road side schemes into play. Place the active counter on Wrecker, which he is. And Breakout, the scenario: after step one of the villain phase, place one threat on each side scheme. Move the active counter to the villain whose scheme has the most threat. And that's how that works. So pretty much a threat goes here, and every turn a threat. And each threat does different thing. Each side scheme from each Wrecking Crew member does a different thing. So let's take on the Wrecking Crew and see if Spider-Man can move on. I won in practice, but now can I win officially? Let's see how we do here. Captain Marvel is waiting in the wings. Special rule for this for Spider-Man: if he gets defeated before two of the villains are defeated, I can restart. If he gets twice defeated that way, Spider-Man is out. If I defeat two villains, but I'm unable to complete the scenario with the scenario, then Spider-Man is out. So that is how the rules go for trying to get all the heroes. And so far, Spider-Man is just, with this starter deck, I'm still winning. But then again, we're still actually in the first wave of Marvel Champions. They really didn't start adding extra cards until the Captain America, the Captain America Hero Pack and such, and the Rise of Red Skull is really the first expansion where the villains really started getting tougher. ID Jester and Mr. Dale, the Casual Gamer, joins me here in the chat. It's an honor to have the both of you. And Spidey's going to take on the Green Goblin. Oh, well, we got both Spider-Man and Spider-Woman. That should be really interesting against him. Yeah, I like the Green Goblin. So let's see how we can do the Wrecking Crew. So I have already gone ahead and shuffled, but I will reshuffle them in front of you. And we got Wrecker, Thunderball, Bulldozer, and Pile Driver. And as I said, some people just do not like the Wrecking Crew, and I don't know why. I have a blast every time I play these guys. And I always, and even though I do win easily sometimes, if you're not careful, you can lose this scenario. It's one hero versus four. So let's begin. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that is a good start here, actually. Surveillance Team, Web Shooter, Heroic Intuition, Swinging Web Kick, and Nick Fury. I'm actually going to keep Swinging Web Kick. And let's see here. I'm going to keep Swinging Web Kick because I can knock out a guy pretty early here. So I'm going to keep Swinging Web Kick. And I'm going to keep the Web Shooter. I'm going to get rid of Heroic Intuition. I'm going to get rid of Surveillance Team. I will keep Nick Fury. Because really in this, you want to knock out a villain as soon as you possibly can. And we get Spider Tracer for that. All right. What we got here? What we do here? I got that. Oh, I got to draw 2 cards. And I get Enhanced Spider Sense. Yep, that's good. All right. So let's see what we're going to do here. Well, Spider-Man, of course, generates a resource on his first turn. So he generates a resource. And I always like to take out a villain if possible here quickly. And that is exactly what we're going to do. So we are going to generate a resource. And we're going to put out Web Shooter for free. And that gets not much room here because I want to show you guys this thing. Not much room here, so we'll do what I got. We'll do the best I can with the room I have. And maybe I'll just keep Spider-Man's thing up here so you guys can see what he's got. And we'll see what we got. So it generates a resource. And the Web Shooter will, let's see, Web Shooter is going to take 1 resource there. We're going to do Spider Tracer and Strength. Spider Tracer and Strength to put out Nick Fury, which is what I'm going to do early on here. So Spider-Man Strength for that. I'm going to bring out Nick Fury. Question is, do I want to draw cards or do I want to hit somebody? I actually think I want to hit somebody here. Nick Fury is going to do, I'm actually going to do 4 damage to an enemy. And I'm going to do it to Pile Driver. Actually, no, not Pile Driver. I want to do it to do it to Thunderball because Thunderball stuns characters and I want him out quickly. So we're going to bring Thunderball down to 9. He will attack for 2, bringing him down to 7. Down to 7. We'll flip. And Spider-Man will attack for 2, bringing him down to 5. Actually, I forgot he did generate. Well, that's right. We'll bring on a 5. And we are going to end our turn. Nick Fury can take the first damage from Wrecker if I want. And I should be able to knock the Thunderball out quickly. All right. Got the Swinging Web Kick still and Enhanced Spider Sense in case Wrecker wants to get cute. So we end our turn. And we draw 3 cards. Getting Spider Tracer, Interrogation Room, and Jessica Jones. All right. So a threat goes on the main scheme, and a threat goes on all the others. So threat, and threat. Wrecker is the active villain. He has the most scheme. He has the most on his side scheme at the moment. And Wrecker attacks He will attack. Wrecker attacks for 2. While Wrecker is attacking, he gets +2 attack if the attack is undefended. Nick Fury will jump in the way. It is defended, but it doesn't matter. It is defended, but he's going to attack for 2. We get a card, getting Haymaker. So he attacks for 2 plus a boost. Move the active counter to the villain with the least threat on his side scheme, and the villain schemes. So now the active counter goes to the least threat, and that is going to be Pile Driver. So that means he will be up next, and he schemes. He does attack for 2. Nick Fury is gone. That takes him out of there. And Pile Driver will scheme. So he schemes for 2 plus a boost. Give the active villain a tough status card. If they already have a tough status card, place 2 threat on the scheme. So Pile Driver just got a little tougher. They're a neat puzzle to see who to attack and who to move threat. Exactly. That's the thing about them. That people, they don't play them as much. That's the thing. I think, Dale, you need to play a little bit more Wrecking Crew. Give them more of a chance. Maybe add a good one of the a stronger maybe add a stronger module to them. Like put a module in each one of their encounter cards. Maybe put like a mess of things in this. Maybe put Bomb Scare and Bulldozer. Maybe put Legions of Hydra and Thunderball. Maybe put Under Attack and Wrecker. They can make the only thing about it, though, they do say it waters them down a little bit, which is true. But then again, you got the standard and the expert card. So put us 2 standard, 2 standard, 2 expert, 2 expert. Do something, make them tougher. I think, make them tougher. All right. So give the active a tough status card they already have. So he escaped. So he schemed for 2. That's all he did. So he now has 6 on his scheme. The sorcerers in your call box at your game store was very Magic the Gathering like, and while it had some cool mechanics. Yeah. So, all right. So that was what Pile Driver does. All right, fine. Okay, so and he's got a tough status card, but no damage my way. All right, cool. All right, so Pile Driver is now the active with them 2 characters and no spoilers, but wow, there you go. Make sure I'm looking forward to seeing that. The Wrecking Crew. Definitely give the Wrecking Crew deserve. I don't know why they don't like them. I think they're fun. I really do. Okay, so Spider-Man's turn. And we are going to let's see what we want to do here. I am going to go ahead and play. I don't want to do this. I got the swinging web kick, but the question is, I don't need it right now. I can knock out Thunderball on my own. So Spider-Man for attack for 2. Bring him down to 3. And we're going to let the web shooter use 1 there. And we'll do Spider Tracer to play Haymaker, deal 3 damage to an enemy, which that takes care of Thunderball. So he is gone right that. So Thunderball and his entire encounter deck does leave the area as he is defeated. So Thunderball is gone. I'll put him to the side. And we will now move these cards a little closer now. All right. Okay, so already 1 down, 3 to go. And let's see. As much as I want to keep a swinging web kick, I really would like to have an ally. So we're going to play the swinging web kick, enhance spider sense, and interrogation room for Jessica Jones. I'm going to get rid of that for now. Play the long game. Jessica Jones is going to attack for 2. Get rid of the tough status card on Pile Driver. She will take the damage. So we're already down to 3. Pile Driver is the active villain at the moment. And we're going to ready our cards. And we draw 5. We got another swinging web kick, tenacity, Aunt May, interrogation room, and emergency. As Dale the casual gamer, for those of you who don't know who he is, that's in my chat, who watches this later, please check out his channel. He is one of the best people to watch one of these games with. Aunt May, the best support card in the game, in all of Marvel Champions, period. There is no card better than Aunt May when it comes to support. There really isn't. Okay, so their turn. Get a threat. The threat goes on every scheme. We've already knocked out one of them. So threat, and it goes to the and now of course, we move the active counter to the scheme who has the most threat. So Wrecker has 8, he has 6, and he has 7. So Wrecker once again becomes the active villain. Steeler fan joins us here at the movie theater for today's matchup between Spider-Man and the Wrecking Crew. So Wrecker becomes the guy. So he will attack. And the question is, do I want Jessica Jones to defend? I'm going to take it. I think I want to take it. Do I want to defend? Do I want to take it? Do I want to defend here? I am going to. I got all 10 hit points. But if he gets +4 plus his boost, whatever he gets. I'm going to go ahead and defend. I'm going to play the long game here. So he's going to defend. So 2 plus 2 is 4. So actually 1 gets through. So Spider-Man is now down to 9. And we get an encounter card, and it is your dead meat. Deal 1 damage to the hero or ally with the fewest remaining hit points. If that character is defeated this way, place 3 threat on Wrecker's side scheme. Deal 1 damage to the hero or ally with the fewest remaining hit points. And that goes to Jessica Jones, actually. So she took a damage. And we do draw a card, of course, for the attack, and we get Daredevil. All right. Okay, we've already defended, so now it's our turn. And who would I want to go after next? I really would like to knock out Pile Driver. And the problem is, can I? Well, let's see what happens. Web Shooter will exhaust. We'll take out Web Shooter. We'll take out the Web Shooter to give us a extra resource, and we're gonna play. I'm gonna play Tenacity. Interrogation Room, Emergency, and Swinging Web Kick to put out Daredevil. Gonna play the long game here. Let's see. Now, Jessica Jones. If you read her card correctly, she gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play. If that's true, she now gets, these are considered side schemes, but I'm trying to remember if that does include Jessica Jones. I think it does. Dale, if I'm right on this, Jessica Jones gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play. Well, there are 3 side schemes in play. So I believe that would be correct. She would have a thwart of 4, if I'm correct on that. So am I right on that assumption? Or it doesn't count in this scenario for her, since those are, so because it says for each side scheme. Well, this says side scheme. So what do you think, Dale? I'm pretty sure that says she has a thwart of +4, a +3 thwart. What do you think? I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure on that. What do you think there, Dale? You'd say yes. My wife and the internet continue to let me know. Okay. So you'd say yes. Okay, so she would have a thwart of 4, which is nice to have. Question is, do I need to worry about thwarting here? I've already taken out the one Wrecking Crew member that I was a little concerned about. Breakout's down to 2. You know what? I'm not going to do anything with her. She's going to stay for defense. Daredevil is going to thwart for 2. Take it off the main scheme. He will do a damage, and we'll do it to Pile Driver. And unfortunately, I'm still keeping Aunt May. I just didn't think I needed her just yet. Daredevil gets a damage. And that's going to do it for our turn. Get 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we get Surveillance Team, Webbed Up, Avengers Mansion, and a Mockingbird. Mockingbird in this scenario is interesting as well, because she can stun somebody, and until they attack, they stay stunned. Like I said, there's a lot of mechanics in the Wrecking Crew that are different from the others. Okay, so all right, threat. So let's see who has the most threat. He has 9. He has 9, and he has 8. So Wrecking Crew is still Wrecker is still the active villain. He will attack. Jessica Jones will defend. So he attacks for 2. Plus 1 is 3. She's gone. Get a card. Getting backflip. That's nice. Backflip. That's nice. And we get an encounter card. And it is Wrecker's Command. Attached to Wrecker. After Wrecker schemes, place 1 threat on each other villain's side scheme. Spend 2 physical resources to discard this card. All right. Still waiting for my Uber stacks. According to them, I should be getting them tomorrow. Although I don't have much room here. That's the thing. One of the reasons why I don't have much room, of course, is my monitor's stand. If it wasn't for that, I have a little bit more. One of these days, I'll get a real gaming table and I can really start streaming stuff like this better. War games and all that stuff. But the good news about getting Wrecker's Command, Wrecker's Command doesn't give me any minions or anything to deal with, so that is a good thing. All right, so it is our turn. It is our turn. Well, I'm going to put out as much as important as it is. I'm going to use Webbed Up to put out Aunt May. To put out Aunt May. And I'm going to use, what I want to do here. I'm actually going to dump Backflip is good, but I still have Daredevil to help me. He can still take some damage. I'd like to get Mockingbird out. Thing about it is there's going to be some scheming that's going to happen here. Wrecker is he's going to scheme his next thing here. So, what are we going to do? We are going to we're going to have Daredevil thwart for 2 and take 2 off of this scheme here. And he does a damage to an enemy, and that will go to Pile Driver. So he'll be down to 9. Spider-Man is going to attack for 2 to Pile Driver, bringing him down to 7. I'm going to use Avengers, Mansion, and Mockingbird to put out the Surveillance Team. We'll play it right. This is a Justice deck, not an aggression deck. An aggression deck, I think, on the aggression deck on the Wrecking Crew is really, really strong. But Justice, got to play it right. Surveillance Team will exhaust, moving a threat, and we're going to take it off of Pile Driver since Breakout is not a threat at the time. And we're going to keep Backflip. And I think that's it. So we'll ready our cards. And we get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you miss the retaliate from pile driver? Did you miss the retaliate from pile driver? Yes, I did miss the. I did. You didn't miss it. I certainly did miss the retaliate from pile driver. So he actually goes down to 8. Spider-Man goes to 8. Daredevil, he thwarted. So he thwarted, which deals the damage to an enemy. So he doesn't take damage from pile driver because he thwarted. He dealt the damage to him. But Spider-Man attacked, so he took a damage. So correct. That is correct. So pile drive. So that is correct. Yeah, I know. I missed the keywords also. You would think maybe the keywords would probably be in bold, but that's okay. All right. So what are we gonna do here? And Daredevil, by the way, he did thwart, so he has 2 damage on him. All right. So get a threat. Gets a threat. Gets a threat and gets a threat. Bulldozer. So let's see who's got it here. So 8, 8, and 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All of them are at 8. Question is, who do I want? So I have a choice. I can choose who I want to go ahead and do it, and I'm gonna have it be. I'm gonna let it be Wrecker. I'm gonna let it. I'm gonna let it be Wrecker. So Wrecker, and I'm gonna take it. So Wrecker. So Wrecker's gonna attack Spider-Man, drawing a card, getting the power of justice. So he attacks for 2. It's undefended, so he gets +2 is 4. +1 is 5. But we backflip and get out of it, so nothing happens. Backflip, one of the best defensive. I think even Dale the Casual Gamer will admit that backflip is one of the best defensive defensive events in the game as well. There's not many cards that you can. There are not many cards in any of the heroes that you just play it and you don't take any damage at all. All right, so get an encounter card, and it is Chaos in the Prison. When revealed, choose to either discard or upgrade you control, or place 1 threat on the active villain side scheme for each upgrade you control. If you do not control any upgrades, this card gains Surge. Choose to either discard and upgrade you control, and place 1 threat on the active villain side scheme for each upgrade you control. Well, if I put up threat, he's going to bring him to 10. I guess Surveillance Team is going to go away. I mean, I could use Spider Sense, but I think I'd rather keep that for something else. So Surveillance Team is going to go away. All right. Yeah, that's why I still say Spider-Man is maybe the most balanced hero in the game. I really think he is the most balanced. I mean, Captain America, I mean, he is amazing. Captain America may be the best hero in the game. He may be, even with Gamora, or Star-Lord, who's Star-Lord, I think, is the craziest hero in the game. But but yeah, Spider-Man has such great cards. All right, so it is our turn. It is our turn. So I can't knock up anybody out of here. I can't knock anyone out. So, Spider-Man is going to attack for 2 on Pile Driver. Take him down to 5. I'll take a 1 retaliate damage. Gonna play the Power of Justice. 4 for justice. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. 4 if you pay for this card using a mental resource. And I'm gonna take the threat off of. He's got they all have 8. Who am I worst worried about? You know what? Bulldozer. I'm gonna take the 4th threat off of that scheme, so I don't lose cards that just get discarded. So I'm gonna take that off. Daredevil is gonna hold out. I'm gonna play Energy to put out the Web Shooter. Get 3 cards. Get 3 counters on that. I'm gonna use Daredevil to defend since I don't have any allies. So keep in hand Spider Sense. I don't need to flip yet. And I think that's going to do it. So we'll go ahead and heal up. We'll ready our cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Getting for Justice, Black Cat, and 2 Great Responsibilities. These cards, I Great Responsibility. Even though they're 0 cost cards, they can come in handy. I've never played them, but maybe I may have to this time. Who knows? All right, so get a threat. 3 on breakout now. So 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. And both Wrecker and Pile Driver have the most on it. I'm going to let Wrecker remain. I'm going to let Wrecker continue to be the active villain. So Wrecker is going to attack. I got Black Cat. Daredevil is going to defend. So he's going to attack for 2 plus, and we get a card. Getting another swinging web kick. That's nice. Attacks for 2 plus 1 is 3. Daredevil goes bye-bye. He goes bye-bye. So he did his job. We draw an encounter card, and it is Buddy System. Choose the villain whose side scheme has the least threat. Reveal the top card of his deck. Top 2 cards instead if he is the only villain in play. I'm going to use the web shooter and play Enhanced Spider Sense and cancel its when revealed effects. And that does that. All right. So we got to knock out somebody here. So let's see what we're going to do here. So Spider-Man. We're going to play. Oof, what do I want to do here? Jeez. Breakout's getting a little dangerous. I would love to have a swinging web kick and knock Pile Driver out. But Breakout is up to 3. Oh, let's see. Maybe I shouldn't have used the web shooter. Maybe I should have used it. Well, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. I still lose the same amount. Spider-Man is going to we're going to use both Great Responsibilities to bring out Black Cat. And we get 2 cards to see if this helps. And we get to keep First Aid. And we lose the Power of Justice. And let's see what we want to do here. Black Cat is going to attack for 1. Yeah. She's going to attack for 1. She gets to retaliate. Spider-Man is going to attack for 2. Bring him down to 2. He takes a retaliate. Stays down to 6. I'm going to go ahead and play the swinging web kick and First Aid to play for Justice. Remove 3 threat from a scheme, 4 threat instead if you pay for this card. We're going to remove it off of here. Take it off of Breakout. We're going to play it safe. And he is about to, they got 2 of them are about to scheme out. So there's not much I'm going to be able to do with it. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flip. Aunt May will go ahead and heal me up. Bring me back up to 10. Up to 10. And that's going to end our turn. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, Scarlet Witch is Scarlet Witch is nothing but chaos. Scarlet Witch is chaos. There's no doubt in my mind. Scarlet Witch is chaos. Okay. So, get a threat. Threat there. Threat there. Threat there. So, okay. So we have Day of Reckoning goes off. So Day of Reckoning, after threat is placed here, if there is 10 or more threat here, deal 2 damage to each friendly character. Remove all but 3 threat from the scheme. So Parker goes back. Parker goes to 7. And Black Cat is out. Would have liked to keep her, but he goes back to 3 on his scheme. Pile Driver doesn't do anything. He goes ahead and he schemes out. So Pile Driver schemes out. So now he's got 3. After threat is placed here, if there is 10 or more threat here, each player discards the upgrade or support they control with the highest cost. Well, they both have the same cost. I'm gonna really hate myself for doing this. You know what I didn't do was draw cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that gets an encounter card from the active villain, which is going to be that. He was the active villain. I never drew cards. All right. Never drew cards, so 6. So Intervention, Helicarrier, Webbed Up, Genius, Backflip, and the Power of Justice. Backflip is very welcome. Okay. I got to discard a support, and it's going to be the Web Shooter. And he goes up to 3. All right. So they all scheme out, but I should be able to knock Pile Driver out of here, hopefully. Okay, so all the schemes are done. Now we move the active counter. The scheme was the most threat, and that is Bulldozer. He's going to get his first crack at me, but he gets the scheme though. So Bulldozer schemes for 1. He schemes for 1 plus 0. Move the active counter to the villain whose side scheme has the least threat, and that's a tie between these two. I'm going to put it to Wrecker because Wrecker actually is the leader. So he schemes for 1. So only 1 more goes on him for Clear the Road. Yeah, I know. Please not Aunt May. I know. I was really considering it, but no, you can't get rid of her. She's got to stay put. Got to let her live. All right. So Bulldozer schemes. I got two encounter cards to deal with. First encounter card is Escape Convict, and that gets Surge. And Corrupt Prison Guard, which is a guard, and that stinks. I don't have much room here. I'm going to probably have to put the deck here. So Escape Convict and Corrupt Prison Guard. And we get here, Get Wrecked. The villain whose side scheme has the most threat schemes. And that's Bulldozer. So he schemes again. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And that's going to scheme him out. So that was not a good turn for me. And I just lost 10 cards in my deck. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that stinks. Not even going to look at them. I don't know why. I don't want to know what I lost. All right. Now, here's the thing. I got a Corrupt Prison Guard here, which is a guard. While this minion is engaged with you cannot attack the villain. Question. Is it only the active villain, or is it all of them? That's a question right there, because you have to pull cards from here. So is it the active villain I can't attack, or is it none of the villains I can attack? That is a good question. I don't know if each one has their own Corrupt Prison Guard. I'm not 100% sure on that. What do you think, Dale? Does this mean the active villain, or I can't attack any of them? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think there, Dale? The active villain or any of them? That's a good question. Because it says, while this minion is engaged with you, you cannot attack the villain, which is fine. But, we got the updated rules say it cannot attack a villain. Okay, then in that case, then I cannot touch any of them. All right. So I got to take him out first. Very well. All right. That was not it. That was not. I'll agree with you on that. It says you cannot attack the villain, but the updated rules say it cannot attack a villain. Okay. All right. So what do we do here? So I can't take him out. All right. Well, Aunt May is going to heal. Get us back up to 10. Get us back up to 10 here. The active villain right now, all three of them are the active villains right now. They all have 3 on a scheme. So I'm going to keep Wrecker as the active villain. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play Genius, Heroic Intuition, and the Power of Justice to play Webbed Up. I'm going to web up Wrecker. Actually, I'll keep Heroic Intuition because Peter Parker generates a resource. We'll flip. We'll attack. And we're going to take out the escape We're going to I better take out the corrupt prison. I better do damage to him. So I'll do 2 damage to the corrupt prison guard. And I'm going to dump Heroic Intuition. And I know the Helicarrier is something I really shouldn't dump. But I'm going to get rid of it. I think it's expensive here. I need more cards. So we're going to ready our turn. And we get 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Swinging Web Kick, Web Shooter, Swinging Web Kick, and Surveillance Team. That's good. That I can work with. And I got backflip, so I don't have to worry about taking damage. All right. So Threat goes on the schemes. So Threat. Move the active counter to the villain whose scheme has the most threat. That is Wrecker. Wrecker will attack, but he is webbed up. So my plan works for a little, at least for a turn. So he is stunned. So we go straight to an encounter. So he doesn't do any damage. Go straight to an encounter card. And it is Mystical Link. When revealed, place 2 threat on each side scheme. Okay, that kind of blows. So 2, 2, and 2. All right. Side schemes are once again an issue. All right. So well, Spider-Man's going to attack for 2, getting rid of the prison guard. Oh, I'm sorry. The guard attacks me. I'm sorry. My bad. The guard attacks me and the escaped convict attacks me, by the way. So I'm down to 7. Forgot about the attack from them. All right. I still have an escaped convict to deal with. Spider-Man attacks for... Now we do the turn. So Spider-Man attacks for 2, taking out the guard. I'm going to go ahead and play the Surveillance Team to put out Web Shooter. We get 3 on that. We'll exhaust using 1. And I probably really shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to go play the Swinging Web Kick and a backflip to play a Swinging Web Kick. It is overkill, but I got to get him out of here. So I'm going to put it on Pile Driver. We take a Retaliate down to 6, but Pile Driver is now out. So Pile Driver has been knocked out. And timeout while I go ahead and do it. He never really got into the game. But that is okay. So Pile Driver is defeated. So that's the second one. And we can now move our cards over a little bit. I think that's a right play. And we are going to... He's still stunned, but I'm going to flip. I'm going to flip over here. Aunt May will heal me for 10. Back to 10. Going to let him scheme. Back breakout only has 2 on it. I think that's the right thing to do is to flip. And we will end our turn. We get 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Need some allies. And we got 1. We got Black Cat. And that'll be okay. I can work with her. All right. Gets a threat. Gets a threat. Gets a threat. Only 2 villains left. Wrecker and Bulldozer. And Wrecker is the active, is he still the active villain? I think he is. 7, 7. In this case, since I have the choice, I'm going to make the active villain Bulldozer because he gets to scheme. So I can choose this because they have the same. So Bulldozer is going to scheme here, not... Actually, you know what? No, because if he does scheme out, I'm going to lose cards. My bad. Record can stay. My bad. On the other hand, all right, so Wrecker is going to scheme. So he schemes for 2. And after Wrecker schemes, place 1 threat on each other villain's side scheme. So he's going to scheme. And another scheme goes on Bulldozer. So he schemes for 2 plus boost. Wrecker gets +3 attack for this activation unless you place 2 threat on his side scheme. But he's okay. He gets 3 attack unless you place 2 threat on his activation. Well, I'll give him 3 attack for this activation, but he's not. But I'll give him 3 attack for his activation. Not a problem. But he's scheming, so that doesn't matter. So that's not going to matter there. That's not going to matter. It says Wrecker gets +3 attack for this activation unless you place 2 threat. Well, I don't need to. So he's scheming, not attacking. So in my opinion, if I read that card correctly, unless I place 2 threat on his side scheme, but I'm going to let him have 3 attack, but he's not attacking. So that's how I'm going to read that card. All right, so he schemed for 2, which is going to bring him up to 9. Let's see. 5. It's going to bring him up to 9. And that is all I'm going to say he does. That is all I'm going to say he does. All right. It is our turn. It is our turn, isn't it? Yeah, it is our turn. All right. Spider-Man's turn. We got 2 left in the Wrecking Crew. 2 left. Spider-Man generates a resource. And generates a resource. We're going to play Great Responsibility to put out Black Cat. We get 2 cards for her to look at. And we get to keep Avengers Mansion, but unfortunately, I lose Mockingbird. But Black Cat is there. Black Cat is going to attack for 1. And now we're going to go after... I think I want to go after Wrecker here now. But I want to go after Bulldozer. I want to go after Wrecker. So she's going to attack for 1. And down to 13. Down to 13. Already played an encounter card. That was the Mystical Link was the encounter card. Oh, no, you're right. No, you're correct. I did forget the encounter card. Yes, I did. You are correct. I did forget the actual encounter card. And let's see. Attached to Wrecker. After Wrecker attacks, place 1 threat. Force response. After a Magical Crowbar. After Wrecker attacks, place 1 threat on the side scheme with the least threat. All right. Well, that actually didn't change. That was that's correct. I know. Yeah, but okay. So I'll attach that to Wrecker. But the good news is that didn't change anything. All right. So we do 1 to him. And we are going to play. So now we have. Going to play Avengers Mansion and Webbed Up to play a haymaker. To play a. He's got to get up, turn in here to play a haymaker. He's going to do plus. He's going to do his 2 attack 2s to bring him down to 5, do 5 damage. So bring him down to 8. He's still stunned. So, all right. And Breakout is at 3 threat now. I'm going to keep for Justice. I'm going to get rid of my Chuck Emergency. And actually, no. I'm going to use for Emergency. Exhaust the Web Shooter. I forget I have that sometimes. And play for Justice. Move 3 threat from a scheme. 4 threat if you use a mental resource. And Breakout is stopped. Just like that. Just like that. So you're correct. I didn't do the encounter card. Can get a little confusing with this. It can get a little confusing with this scenario. It can get a little confusing. We will end our turn. So I got him down to 8. 6 cards. Hurricane Wishin, Spider Tracer, Nick Fury, Tenacity, Interrogation Room, and back. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Can only take 5 cards. And we'll do that. Okay. All right. Threat, and threat. So once again, the schemes go off. So Day of Reckoning, that is 10. So deal 2 damage to each friendly character. Remove all but 3 threat from the scheme. So Spider-Man actually gets hurt for 2. Black Cat is gone. Bulldozer, 2. His scheme goes off as well. I lose 10 cards, which means there's going to be an encounter card from Wrecker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. We get an encounter card from the main scheme. So that's a face down encounter card, which we'll put here. And that does get this. So this is now reshuffled. And my bad. The escaped convict dealt damage to me, and I completely forgot about him. The escaped convict did damage to me. I completely forgot about him. Like I said, if I had this a better setup, I would remember. I would see it better. But that's okay. All right. So now it's +1 on Breakout due to a counter deck being reshuffled. All right. Now we're set. All right. So the schemes are all taken care of. Now Wrecker is going to stay the active villain. Remove stun. He cannot attack. Gets another encounter card. So I got 2 encounter cards I got to deal with. First encounter card is Crowbar Toss. Wrecker attacks you. Then move the active villain counter to the villain whose side scheme has the least threat. That stinks. That stinks. I can't stop it, but okay. So he attacks me. So he attacks me for 2. Attacks for 2. Plus 2 is 4. Plus 1 is 5. So he does 5. Plus 2 is 7. But I have backflip, and I do get a card. Take care there, Dale. I do get a card, getting great responsibility. I do get a backflip, which gets me out of that mess. So he attacks me there. Second encounter card is Get Wrecked, the villain whose side, and of course it said a deal. Let's see here. What was that? What was the counter card? Then move the active counter to the villain whose side scheme has the least threat. Well, they both have the threat. And I'm going to go ahead and move it to Bulldozer, since right now he's a little more powerful than Bulldozer. So Bulldozer now has the active. And now we do Get Wrecked. The villain whose side scheme has the least threat attacks you. And that's going to be Bulldozer. So Bulldozer is going to go ahead and attack me because I'm going to make him the active villain. And I am going to... I got to defend because he could get a good card. So I'm going to defend, go 3. So he attacks for 3 plus boost. If this attack is undefended, discard and upgrade control. I did defend it, so that does not happen. But I do get a card because he attacked me in getting Jessica Jones. Okay. All right. So after all that mess, this is the state of the game right now. So we still have Wrecker and Bulldozer to deal with. Wrecker is down to 8. I can finish him off, I think. Maybe. Can I finish him off? Well, since I had to defend against it, that's what hurts. All right. It's our turn. We're going to exhaust Web Shooter. Generates a resource. We're going to use Great Responsibility and Tenacity to bring out Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones will attack for 2, getting rid of the convict. I already did the damage. Oh, I didn't do the damage to the convict, did I? Yeah. Okay, 6. All right. Okay, so I'm going to put the Spider Tracer and to put down the... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to... Actually, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if I do that or not. I mean, I could remove a threat. So I'm going to use the Spider Tracer to put down the interrogation room. And I'm going to say I did that first. So interrogation room will remove a threat. Just a little cheating, not really cheating. I'm just going to say I did that first because I knew I was going to take out this guy and remove a threat from interrogation room since I defeated a minion. We're going to keep Nick. I'm going to keep Nick Fury. And that is our turn. And we'll get 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Power Justice, Energy, Daredevil, and Enhanced Spider Sense. Enhanced Spider Sense right now is very useful. Okay. 2 threat, but still only 1 threat on the side schemes. So only 1 threat on the side schemes. This +1 does not mean to this. At least I don't think so. I don't think it ever did, but I never played it that way. So there's now 2 on Breakout. And let's see what we want to do here. The active villain is I'm going to have Bulldozer be the active villain. And he's going to be the active villain. Jessica Jones is going to defend. So he's going to do 3, get a card, getting Great Responsibility. 3 plus 1 is 4. She's gone. She's gone. Get an encounter card, and it is Headbutt. Discard 1 card at random from your hand if you are in hero form. Take damage equal to that card's printed cost. If you are in alter ego form, place threat on Bulldozer's side scheme equal to that card's printed cost. Youch! Three. 1, 2, 3. And of course, it would be Nick Fury. Damn. All right. So I lost Nick Fury. That stinks. Oh, wait a minute. I'm an idiot. My bad. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. My bad. My bad. We're going to play, I'm sorry, Power of Justice, Enhanced Spider Sense. That cancels out when revealed. Dang. I had the card. That cancels out the one revealed. Enhanced Spider Sense. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. All right. Nothing happens. Enhanced Spider Sense. I knew I had it and I forgot as soon as I saw it. Okay. All right. Our turn. This wrecking crew is being a little bit tougher than I thought today. All right. Spider-Man is down to 6. He's got to get some healing. But I want to finish off record. I'm going to do just that. All right. So Spider-Man attacks for 2 on record, bringing him down to 6. I'm going to play Energy, Daredevil, and Great Responsibility to bring out Nick Fury. He will do 4 damage to an enemy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bring him down to 2, and Daredevil and Nick Fury attacks for 2, kicking Wrecker's butt. So that takes care of Wrecker. That takes care of Wrecker. So he is gone. So Wrecker is toast. That takes care of Wrecker. He's gone. Wrecker. So now we only have 1 guy left, and that is Bulldozer. So now we can go ahead and move the cards to their normal positions here. All right. And we'll change positions as well. So we'll make this now 6. And now make him 12, because that's how much he's got. Okay. The guard keyword prevents you attacking all the villains. That's what I thought. So thank you much there, Jester. That's what I thought. Okay, so Spider-Man is at 6, and Bulldozer is at 12. So we only got 1 left. Problem is, Breakout is at 2. So that's going to end our turn, though. So we did good. Actually, no. I'm going to flip. Let Aunt May heal me. Back up to 10. And now we will go ahead and do that. And we'll get 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mansions, Surveillance Team, Webbed Up, Helicarrier, Heroic Intuition, and Genius. Not really what I wanted to see. I really wanted Thwart. All right. Okay. His turn. Breakout goes to 4. He gets 1. Bulldozer gets the scheme. Bulldozer schemes. So he schemes for 1. Plus 1 is 2. So 2 more goes on his scheme. Get an encounter card, and it is another Headbutt. Discard 1 card. If you are in hero form, if you are in alter ego form, place threat on Bulldozer's side scheme equal to that card's printed cost. This time I can't stop it. 6. Webbed up. So 4 more goes on that. And that really stinks. So now that's gonna scheme him out again. And I'm gonna lose 10 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Which means I get another encounter card for the next round. As I said, these guys can be nasty. All right. Okay. All right. Nick Fury, of course, is gone. All right. What are we going to do here? Well, I got to deal with threat. So let's deal with threat. All right. So it's our turn. Peter Parker, he's already full strength, generates a resource. We're going to use that resource and Helicarrier to put out Heroic Intuition, which will give him a +1 thwart. +1 thwart. Going to play Genius to put down Surveillance Team. Surveillance, Peter Parker is going to thwart for 2. Surveillance Team will thwart for 1. So that will bring that back to 1 now on breakout. I'm going to keep the Haymaker and chuck Avengers Mansion. And that's going to end our turn. Let me get 1, 2, 3, 4. Backflip, Heroic Intuition, Spider Tracer, and Enhanced Spider Sense. That's not bad. All right. So, a couple of threat. Go on the scheme. Bulldozer still has 12 points of damage, and he's still pretty tough. Bulldozer is going to attack. Spider-Man is going to take it. So he's going to do 3 plus 3 is 6. Fine. Backflip and get out of it. Backflip and get out of it. 2 encounter cards. First encounter card, leading the charge. Discard the top X cards of your deck, where X is Bulldozer's attack. Place 1 threat on Bulldozer's side scheme for each different card type discarded this way. So discard the top X cards of your deck, where X is Bulldozer's attack. Place 1 threat on Bulldozer's side scheme. So his attack is 3. So 1, 2, 3 get discarded. And 3 more go on his side scheme. And I did not put 1 for the breakout. Second encounter card, Escape Convict. Surge, leading the charge. Discard the top X cards of your deck, where X is Bulldozer's attack. Place 1 threat on the side scheme. Jeez. Damn. That means he's going to scheme out again. That means he schemes out again. Shoot. Okay. Means he schemes out again. So I'm actually going to lose. All right. So I'm going to let it happen. So it's going to be, so place 1 threat. So I'm going to lose 13 cards because it's 7 plus 3 is 10. So I'm going to lose a total of 13 cards here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I'm not even going to look at them because I don't want to know what I just lost. All right. And that is our turn. And by the way, he did attack. I did not take my card. I'll take my card now. All right. Spider-Man's turn. Spider-Man is going to attack for 2. Get rid of the escaped convict. Interrogation room removes a threat. Surveillance team will remove a threat. Move a threat. I'm going to play Heroic Intuition, Haymaker, and Spider Tracer to put out Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is going to attack for 2. Bring him down to 10. I got to start bringing him down a little because his encounter deck is getting thin. I'm going to keep in hand Spider Sense and ready our cards. And we get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Swinging Web Kick, Webbed Up, Power Justice, and Spider Sense. If I can survive this turn, he's done. If I can survive this turn, he's done. I got the Swinging Web Kick. That should be good. All right. So his turn. 2 threat goes on the main scheme. He gets 1 on his scheme. He's going to attack. He is going to attack. I get a card. Getting first aid. I'm going to let it hit me. So 3. I'm going to let it hit me. So he does 3 plus 2 is 5. Do I want to let it hit me? Yeah, I'm going to let it hit me. So take me down to 5 because I really want Spider-Man to stay active. The dreaded encounter card, and it is Corrupt Prison Guard. He would get that one. That's a guard. So I can't finish him off this round. He would get the Corrupt Prison Guard. That was the only card that could save. That was the only card that could save him. All right. Well, okay. All right. Spider-Man and Jessica Jones will both attack for 2, getting him out of there, which I had no choice. Interrogation room. We'll go ahead and take a threat. Surveillance team is gone. Moves a threat. Moves a threat. Jessica Jones does 2. Gonna play first aid, Webbed Up, and the Power of Justice to play a swinging web kick, which would have finished him off, but if anything, that takes him down to 2. So now 1 more good punch and he'll be out. I'm going to keep both in hand Spider Sense in case something comes up. The good news is that this encounter deck is going to advance, but it should not advance the scheme. I'm going to flip. I am going to flip, though. I'm going to flip. Aunt May will heal me up to 9. Well, I really didn't have to do that, but it makes sense to do so. That'll end our turn. And we get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Strength, interrogation room, backflip, and a swinging web kick. Okay. All right. Okay, so 2 threat go on the scheme. For breakout, 1 goes on clear the road. Bulldozer schemes. Schemes for 1 plus 1 is 2. That gets another acceleration token. Shouldn't matter. Better safe than sorry is right. Get an encounter card, and it is Get Wrecked. The villain whose side scheme has the most threat schemes. So he schemes again. So he schemes for 1 plus 3. Damn, 4. He gets 4. Does that set it? No, it does not. No, it does not. But he's toast. That's 6, 9. So nothing happens. So he is done. He is done. So I wonder who I let take him out. Well, let's play it right. Aunt May will heal Peter Parker. Get it up there. And let's see. Peter Parker generates a resource. The interrogation, by the way, is gone. Peter Parker generates a resource. And just because I can, play the interrogation room. Actually, no. Doesn't matter to play that. Generates a resource. And we flip. And I'll say, nah, Jessica, I did do the encounter card. That was the get wrecked. That was the get wrecked ID gesture. I did the encounter card. That was the get wrecked. The villain whose side scheme has side scheme has the most threat schemes. I did do the encounter card. So we flip over. I'm going to say, Jessica Jones, go ahead. He's all yours. Pow. And he's down to 0. And that will defeat the Wrecking Crew, as Bulldozer is toast. And that is it. The Spider-Man starter deck wins again. And this time breaks the Wrecking Crew and beats them. Although this was one of the tougher battles I had against them, but it is a win for the Wrecking Crew. It is a win for Spider-Man, and he will move on to the Rise of Red Skull campaign. Now, I'm not going to play the campaign fully. I'm just going to play the scenarios of the campaign. I will do the comic book storyline. Why not? So Spider-Man moves on. He beats the Wrecking Crew. Next up will be Crossbones from the Rise of Red Skull. That is the first scenario. Now we'll see if this starter deck deals with the higher weight, with the stronger villains as we now approach there. Captain Marvel, of course, is just sitting on a stool somewhere, just playing her iPhone, waiting for a chance. And right now, Carol Danvers goes to Pete and says, Pete, I'm getting bored over here. And Peter Parker saying, I'm having too much fun. So another victory for Spider-Man. He will move on to play Crossbones, the first scenario of the Rise of Red Skull. Well, that was a little bit tougher than I thought it was, but sometimes, that's why the cards go with the starter deck. Usually against the Wrecking Crew, I play aggression because you want to knock these guys out as soon as you possibly can. You want to knock these guys out as soon as you can. And aggression is a very good deck to knock these guys out. Aggression is what I feel you really should do. Or I also did pretty good with leadership against the Wrecking Crew, because then you have all the allies. And the allies really help you. I think aggression and leadership is really built. The thing about the side schemes, you can't get rid of them. So all Justice is going to do is just remove the threat really from the main scheme, and that's it. So I think really for the Wrecking Crew, aggression or leadership, protection, I only played with the protection once, and I did win, but it was very wonky. I don't think protection works good against the Wrecking Crew, but maybe somebody can prove me wrong. But I think aggression and leadership is best for Wrecking Crew. Justice just takes care of the main scheme. Because, you can use Justice to cool the side schemes down a bit, but these you can't get rid of anyway. So they're always going to be in play. no matter what. Anyway, that is another victory for Spider-Man. He will move on and in our Marvel Champions adventures. So, ID Jester and Dale the Casual Gamer, thank you very much for joining me. I would like to say my COVID is gone. I'm actually going to work tomorrow because they asked me to come in. So I return to work tomorrow for several hours. So my COVID is gone. It is negative. So thank you all for joining me. Please leave a like on your way out of the movie theater. Subscribe if you've not done so, and make sure you hit the bell. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart, stay strong, and we'll see you guys next time. Spider-Man beats the Wrecking Crew. The Rise of Red Skull is next. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.